This is GadgetStop321. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a little maintenance on my converters. I noticed that the piston on my Lamy converter was feeling a little bit dry, so I'm going to use some of the silicone grease that came with my TWSBI Mini to lubricate my converters. I've got a Platinum, a Sailor, and a Lamy converter, and I've also got a Pilot Con 40, but it's got this little metal bit in there that keeps the ink agitators from falling out, so I'm not going to be able to do this little procedure on my Con 40, but that's okay because the Con 40, they do a good job of putting quite a bit of silicone grease on it from the factory, so it's still in really good shape. It doesn't really even need this, so I'm just going to set it off to the side. It's the converter that came in my E95S. Now, this Lamy converter is the one that came in my CP1. There are two Lamy converters. I don't know the names of them offhand. One of them's got like the little black piston knob. One of them's got a red. But this will work for both of those. I'm going to get just... let's see. I'm just going to stick this. There's a tiny little hole in the silicone grease. I'm just going to stick it in there. And you just want it to be wet. You don't want an excessive amount on here. Let's see if you can see this. See, it just looks like it's wet. Focus a little bit better. Well, that didn't help much. But you just see that it looks like the tip's wet. And if you were using that solid silicone grease, you don't want to get a big clump of it on there. You just want to wet the tip of something small, like a toothpick I have here. Okay. And I'm just going to, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just wetting just a little circle. You don't have to get the whole thing lubricated. Just down here close to the end. And yeah, that feels a lot smoother. Alright, so I'm just going to do that with each one of these. This is the Lamy converter. It's a pretty decent converter. It's got this little, it feels like a rubber inner lining to the nipple. That'll add to the longevity of it. I'm going to get a little bit more grease. I don't know if I really need to, but just to make sure. Now, this converter came from the factory feeling kind of dry, so this is the Sailor. A little grease down there at the end. You know, I can't complain about this converter from experience, but I've heard lots of people complain about the Sailor. Got a little excess, looks like ink in there. But I've heard people complain about these Sailor converters. They just don't last long, and you see there's no reinforcement really up here where it attaches to the pin. I think that's the point of failure. And my favorite converter is the Platinum. I mean, this has some heft to it. I bought it to put in this Platinum Preppy. I mean, the converter cost more than the Preppy, but it really adds some weight to it, and it makes it a nice pen. Alright, these Platinum converters feel almost like they're made out of glass, but I think it's plastic. It's just that weight from all the metal. And it's got this metal reinforcement ring up here. It just feels nice and solid. Okay. Yep. That feels nice and smooth. And I just want to reinforce here, a little bit of silicone grease goes a long way, so do not go overboard. All right. So that should be good for another year or two. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel.